Hello YouTube. These are my two Fluval Nanolights. I forget exactly which model they are, but I want to do something different with them. What I want to do, instead of having them on these little stands right here, I need to move so they're just hanging, because I do have a project that I'm going to be doing on this 20-gallon long, and the way that they are right now, they're just in the way. Hello and welcome to Dave's Aquarium Thoughts. I'm Dave. Today I'm going to start my project. This is on my 20-gallon long, which is right down there. What I want to do on that, I do want to basically add those plant planters like I have on my 40-gallon long right up here. Although I do have one issue with the 20-gallon long right now, is that I do have the not Flavel, Fluval Nanolights on them, which is like this one right here. I already removed it just so I could prepare what I'm doing with it. What I want to do is I do want to hang it over the tank. That way it's out of the way. That way I could put more plants in there and I don't have to worry about it just kind of taking space on the aquarium itself. So what I want to do, I do want to raise them up and hang them as opposed to having them on the stand, which was nice when I had it there. I don't quite need it there anymore. So I'm going to hang them. And unfortunately, I was not able to find any good. I was not able to find any good kits to actually hang them. So I have to improvise. I have to come up with a solution. So this is going to be my solution. So I have my Fluvalite, and I have some galvanized steel wire. Which this one right here is 18 gauge. It's a little bit thicker. It's bendable. And I also have another galvanized steel wire, which is a 24 gauge. This one I picked up from Amazon, although you could probably pick it up at Home Depot as well. This one, you could probably pick it up at Amazon, but I did pick up this one at Home Depot. What I also do have is I do have these S binders, which I picked up from, not Amazon. I picked these ones up from Home Depot. I got a total of 8 of them. You can probably find these on Amazon, anywhere you can find these. There you go. So let me go ahead and get going on this, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I have everything I need right here. I have the light, I have the wires. I also have a few tools, which is these needle nose pliers, as well as some wire snippers to snip the wires, and of course the light itself. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go ahead and remove this. I do not need this anymore. I'm going to set that off to the side. And basically this is the light. Let me grab something like a piece of cloth so I could actually sit this down on the table right here. So what I want to do first thing is I'm going to take the thicker wire, which is the 24 gauge. I'm basically going to wrap it around the light right here. That way it gives some support so it could actually hold it up. So basically when it's hanging, it has some support to hold on from. I really wish there was a better solution to this. I could probably design something 3D printer wise, but I don't want to go through the whole thing of doing that and getting it printed out, getting shipped out. Where I think this solution right here is another decent one that would work. So basically I need something to hang this up. So I'm going to take the wire. I'm going to take the this is the 18 gauge. I'm going to take the 18 gauge. And basically I'm going to wrap that around. Let me just take that off. I don't need it. So let me go ahead and get a good length of wire. That way I can wrap it around. I don't know how long I'm going to need. So if I go longer, that's fine. I'd rather go longer than shorter. I got plenty of wire for this. And I think this size wire is going to be good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and snip it right there. And that way I do have the wire to go ahead and wrap it around. I'm just going to kind of straighten it out a little bit more. That way it's nice and straight. I also need to figure out, okay, how am I going to have this hanging? I think I'm going to have it hanging pretty much where it says the Fluval out towards me. That way I could have the plug hanging out the back. I'll probably find a way to strap it around so it's kind of out of the way as well. I was thinking about putting it this way where the light goes like this, and then kind of wrap the string this way. But I think this way is going to work better, where this will be at the back of the aquarium and this will be in the front of the aquarium. So let me go ahead and start this. So any kind of wrapping around I'm going to be doing is going to be looking back here. So any kind of like twisting or anything like that to secure this wire in place is going to be back here. That way it's kind of out of sight. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to be basically placing the wire right there. Let me go ahead and stick this out right here. Give it a little space to twist with. So when I come back around, I can actually use that to twist. Make sure it's a good length. That way I don't have to worry about it. One thing I do need to keep in mind is how am I going to wrap this wire right here. I need to figure out how that's going to wrap around and hang on this. So I need to figure out one way to do this. All right, so I'm going to have that wire right there. That side, of course, I have so I could wrap around, secure it. So let me go ahead and bring this on around back here. And eventually I'm going to have to make some things to actually attach it so I could hang it. I'm not quite sure how I want to do it right now. I had one idea to make little loops in the wires, but I really don't think that's going to work out well. So I'm just going to wrap this wire around here and wrap around the corner right here. I think I'm going to be able to feed some wire through there to make those loops. So I'm not worried about that. So let me go ahead and wrap this around here. Wrap this around here. Wrap this around here around the back. And hopefully that's going to be enough to where it's going to be tight enough so it doesn't fall. Because the one thing I don't want this to do is I do not want this to fall. And I think this wire is definitely going to be strong enough to hold, so I have no problem there. And then all I need to do is take this wire and try to wrap it around that little post right there that I already previously made. So let me make this try to make this a little bit tighter and start wrapping the wire around. That way it's going to be nice and secure and I don't have to worry about the wire coming loose. So I think that's going to be secure and I think that's definitely going to hold. I don't think I have any fear in terms of it getting too loose or anything. So what I can do now is I can take my wire snips again, wrap that around a few more times. And what I can do now is take my wire snips and snip off the excess. And any excess I want to snip off without cutting the wire back there. And then there you have it. Then I have, what I want to also do is I want to kind of point that down that way it's out of the way and that way it doesn't snip anything. So that's going to be perfectly fine. I have it all around, so it's going to have plenty of support to hold. Now what I do need to do now is I need to get some other wire, which I'm going to probably use. I can probably use this wire again as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 loops. I'm going to have 2 right here, 2 right here. And that way I could use something to actually, I'm going to use these Hess hooks to connect to a wire I will be making to hang from the top rack. Basically, if you saw my rack over there where my 40-gallon breeder is sitting, below there's a couple posts that run across for support. I'm going to run the wire around there to actually hang the lights from. So let me go ahead and make these little loops right here. So basically all I need to do is kind of run the wire through there and do the whole twisty thing again. Let me see here, twist. So I have that tight, right? And then just kind of twist. And then I do have a little thing, and that way it's going to be there. Okay, so a lot of this is going to be trial and error, so you're going to have to bear with me on this. But I think I figured out an idea of what I'm going to do on this. Alrighty, so I got this figured out. Instead of using the thicker wire, I'm going to use the thinner wire to actually make the loops coming from the unit right here. That way it's still going to be secure enough. It doesn't really need to hold a lot of weight. These things are only probably like 1 or 2 pounds, so this will definitely hold. I'm not worried about that, and it's not going to budge. It's not going to move over that much, so I think I'm happy with that. So let me go ahead and get going, and I'll show you exactly what I did. So I'm going to take one of this piece of this thinner wire, and I'm going to go ahead and get my snips. Oops. I'm going to get my snips right here, and I'm not measuring on how much I need on this. So I'm just kind of going by ear on this. So let me go ahead and once again I'm going to I'm going to feed that through the wire right there. That's attached to the lip right there. There's probably better ways to do this, but this is the way I'm doing it. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. So I'm going to wrap one piece around here. Once again, this is around the lipped edge. So I'm going to wrap that around there. Okay, so I think that's decent enough on the wrap. So then I'm going to go ahead and snip that off. Snip, snip, snip. Snipped off the excess, and what I do here is I do take the needle nose pliers, and what I do is I do twist it a little bit. I do twist that little loop that's attached to the wire. I basically wrap it around there a few times. That way, it's nice and secure on that side, so it can't go around the. So it's not going to be able to go around the corner. There we go. Move that wire out of the way. Yeah, a few more snips. Not snips, but a few more twists. I think should do it. Just a matter of just getting in there to where I get where the loop is. That's the part I want to twist. Alrighty. Okay, I think that's going to be secure enough. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip this back around this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little guide right here. I got this one Sharpie marker. Which what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that and twist that around here and feed that through the back side. Feed the wire through the back side. Now this wire is the what gauge is this? The 24 gauge? Yeah, this thinner wire, the 24 gauge. So I'm going to wrap that around there, tighten that, and then I could wrap that around the loop right there. And that way it's nice and secure. Then I could remove that. And of course, then I just twist that around a few times. And then I have my other loop. So my other loop for the other corner right here. So, and as I'm doing this, I'm getting better at it. So, so this one actually I think looks a little bit neater than the previous one. So by the time I get to the front ones right here, I'm going to be a pro and it's going to look nice. Well, nice, as nice as I could get it anyways. So go ahead and snip that, and then of course grab one of the S-clips right here, and then that will go right in that loop right there. And then I have the back side. Then I have the things for the back side lifted up. Now the one thing I'm going to have to be careful on how to do this is the leveling. I want to make sure it's nice and as level as I can. I don't want one side tilted more one way or the other, so I'm going to have to do more measurements when I'm actually hanging the wires. So I think this is good. It's a good start. So let me go ahead, and that's how I hook up the sides. So let me go ahead and do the rest of them. Then I will show you the completed version. Alrighty, so I got all four corners all covered. You got these two and these two. So all four corners are taken care of. That way I could get the wires and hang it to the stand. That way it's over the 20-gallon long as opposed to connected to it. I think this is going to be sturdy enough. There's not enough slack where this is going to come out and over it. So this will definitely hold. It's just a matter of just kind of finding a way to keep it all leveled up there. That's going to be the hard part, is making sure everything's nice and level. But I think I could do it. It's just a matter of just getting it right over there. I really wish I could drill holes in here, but I didn't want to risk breaking this thing because I really don't want to go out and buy another one. Plus I have two of these, and that's like 8 holes altogether. One mistake and bam. I really wish there was a better solution out there. I tried looking for one. I couldn't find it, so this is what I'm stuck with. Maybe down the road, maybe I'll think of a way to 3D print a solution for this. But we'll see how that goes. So let me go ahead and get this prepared to hang on the tank. That way it's hanging over my aquarium. So let me go ahead and do that right now. And alrighty, so I'm on the next step right now. Right now I'm standing in front of my 20-gallon long, which is right below my 40 breeder right up here. As you can see, these are the things I'm going to be attaching the wire to. That way it could hang over the 20-gallon. I'm not too worried about the thing shifting this way. That I'm not too worried about because that at least gives me some room to actually adjust it if I want to move it more towards the front or more towards the back. So basically, that's going to be the next step. So I got the wire right here. So basically, I'm going to do the similar things. I'm just going to find a way to make a loop, which this one's going to be easier. All I have to do is just, of course, just make a simple loop. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. So let me go ahead and cut a piece off. I'm going to try to make them all the same size. That way, when I do the whole thing, that way I don't have to worry about leveling it. I do have an idea of how I'm going to attach it so I could level them. So let me go ahead and snip that piece off. So snip. And then I got my first loop right here. If it's not perfectly the same, I'm not going to worry too much. That's not going to bother me too much. It's just a matter of just when I hang the wires, the hanging wires. It's just a matter of just making sure all of those are even. So let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and feed this through here, and as you can see, I can just loop it around and do a little twisting motion to make sure it's attached to it. Then wrap that around there and wrap that one around there. I'm trying to making sure there's no like pokey things that way, because I don't want it to accidentally scratch the glass on my 40 breeder above it. There's a little bit of room up there, but I just want to be more certain that it's not going to poke anything. Let's see here. And I think that's going to be secure. So that's going to be number one. I'm not going to worry about cutting off the excess. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and get number two here. And of course, there's three. There's one here, and one here. I have two lights. So the two of them are going to be connected to the same one on there, which is not a problem, I don't think. Hopefully not. Well, we'll see how it works once it's all nicely hung. Now this one is the thicker wire, which is the 18 gauge. I'm using the thinner one for actually the hanging. And personally, I'm looking at this right now. I don't like the other one I hung, so I'm probably going to redo that one. Primarily because I don't think I need to have it as low as I had it. Yeah. Let me go ahead and snip the excess on here. Careful not to drop any of these pieces into the aquarium there. Let me go ahead and snip this off. But like I said, I don't like the way that is. I'm just going to redo it. A lot of this project is trial and error, which is fine as long as I get it right in the long run. That's all I care about. I'm just going to go ahead and reuse this piece. I don't think I need to snip off another piece. Let's go ahead and do it that way. Same way as this one, I'm just going to wrap this one around and make sure it's nice and secure. It just needs to be big enough for the loop to go around. And there we go on that one. Let me go ahead and snip the excess off. And there we go. And there we have it. I got the place to hang the things all nice and set there. And then it's just a matter of just getting the lights, getting this one done. But first, I'm gonna get this one done first, and then I'm gonna work on this one. And let me go ahead and work on this one right now, and I'll show you the process there. Alrighty, so I got the light right here. Right now, it's not attached to any wires, but I'm just kind of testing out. I'm gonna do a little testing right here, see how high I want it, how high it can go. I'm not sure if I want it like here or if I want it higher like this. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But first, I'm going to try it as low as I can and go up further. But first thing I do need to do is I do need to turn on the light. But since I had it unpowered, I do need to go back into the app to turn it back on. Let me see what we got here. You can go ahead and open the app and figure out which light this is. because I do have two different ones named differently. Let me see which one's which. Yep, okay, I got the right one. So basically it's on the setting I normally like it at. Let me just see how it is when I raise it. If I wanted to, I could go all the way up if I really wanted to. But then I can't really attach it that way because it's not long enough. But I go down lower. I just want it up higher. That way these plants it's not in the way of the plants that I'm going to have there. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm probably going to have it more over here. So let me figure this out and how high I want it. That's the hard part, is actually doing the testing. What I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this light off. That way I get a better judge of what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that light off. That way I'm not looking at both lights. That way I'm only looking at one. I'm going to turn this one off. That way I get to see what I'm looking at. I think right here is probably a good height, I think right here is going to be a good place to put it. Let me try one thing. One thing I'm going to be doing is basically make it level. I'm going to place a box up here or two boxes, and that way I can set up here, and that way I could just I can hang it from there, and that way I know it's going to be level. Let me see here. But it looks like if I want it this height, I'm going to need a taller box. If I want it this height, I'm going to need a taller box. I think this is a good. Let me see. I think right here is going to be a good height, I think. So let me go ahead and figure out a box solution for this, and that way I get to actually keep it nice and level. Because I don't want to hang like this, and I don't want to hang it like this. I want to make sure it's as level as possible. I don't want it laying like this. So let me go ahead and get a box, and that way I can lay it on there, and that way I get the proper height going. So let me go find a box for that. Okay, so I found a box that's going to work. It's going to give me the proper height that I want. Of course, if this is a familiar box to you, it's from my previous video, which is my unboxing of the Aqueon Smart Clean Power Filter. So this box is coming in handy. I think this is going to give me a good height to where I need to be. Go ahead and scoot that over a little bit and scoot these over a little bit. So let's go ahead, and that way I can make sure everything's nice and that way I can make sure everything's nice and level. Oh, of course, I'm making a mess of the wire here, which is not something I want to do. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So basically, I'm going to start with wire number 1 right here. I want to make sure I have enough slack. That way I could make the loops I need. So let me go ahead and snip the first piece off. So basically, first thing I'm going to do is attach it to the hook right here. Go ahead and wrap that around there a number of times. That's why it's nice and secure. And that way, there we go. So all you need to do is now take this piece and feed it through the loop right here. And I'm realizing something right now. I probably didn't need to attach the wires up there, but it's fine. Because I think holding it this way would be fine too. So once I figure out a place that's going to hang, I'll go ahead and make the loop right there. Wrap that around a few times, and that way that's nice and secure. I want to make sure that doesn't fall off because it's only attached to one right now. Okay. Let me go ahead and snip off the excess. And let me take this excess and probably use it for the next one right here. Probably sufficient. Hopefully it's sufficient. Yeah, I think that's gonna be. I think that will be enough to hook it. Okay, let me go ahead and wrap that around that J hook, that S hook. Alrighty, there we go. And let me go ahead and attach this one to this hook up here. Attach it to this loop right here. Attach that up. And do the twisty thing. Twisty, twisty, twisty. And of course, I'm just going to twist around the excess. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to twist around the excess here. Yeah, there we go. I don't want to snip off the excess. I can if I wanted to, but that's easy enough. Okay, let me go ahead and get more wires for the other two. And there we go. Now I have light number 1 hanging. And there we go. Light number 1's hung. Now I get just to where I want it to be. And if I wanted to, I could twist things around. Maybe twist it if it's unlevel a little. I could do a little bit of twisting here and there to make it level. Alrighty. What I need to do now is, let me go ahead and turn on this light and see how it goes. And what I might do is I might get some tape up there. I might get some tape and tape it up there. So let me go ahead and turn this one back on. And there we have it. And I think that might be kind of level, but kind of not level. Haven't quite figured that out yet. What I might do is I might go grab a level and see where I stand. I think this side is a little bit high, or this one's a little bit low. Either way, I can fix it, I think. Okay, there we go. I think that's, yeah, I might have to get a level and test this out. But there's light number 1 hung. Now all I need to do is get light number 2 hung. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you the finished project. Alrighty, so I got the lights hung, both of them. I got 1 and 2. I did change things up. Like I said, a lot of it's gonna be trial and error, and I pretty much decided to forego these little S-clip thingy-majiggies, these things right here. I forgotten those, and I just went with just the wire. So I used the thin wire right here. And thinking back now, this thick wire right here, I probably could have got away with just using the thin wire there as well. Might have looked a little bit better, but I think how it is right now, I think it's going to be fine. Maybe if I have time, maybe I'll go back one of these days and just redo it. But basically, I did hang the wire up a little bit up around, that way it's out of the way. Try to declutter the back right there. So basically, I do like it. It's pretty much ready to do, where I'm going to put plants back here. I'm going to put plants back here, just like I have on the 40 breeder up there. That way it kind of cleans up the area, makes it look a little bit nicer, I think. But let me go ahead and give you a close-up look of what they are, what it looks like over here. Basically, as you can see, you could probably see like the thin wires right there. They're just thin wires holding them up. I think they're pretty level. I didn't really get a level out because basically I couldn't find it. But basically, also on here, I decided just to wrap the thin wire. Decided to run the thin wire on there as well, rather than using the thick wire to hold it up there as support. I think that's sufficient enough to do what I needed to do. So basically, it is ready for me to basically do what I need to do with this project. Got the lights hung, need to make the baskets, and I'm all set. So if you have any suggestions of other ways I could do this, other ways I could hang the Fluval Nanos, please let me know. I think these are the Fluval Nano Fresh. I think the plant's about the same dimensions, but please let me know without having to drill holes through the plastic or metal, whatever this top piece is. Please let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, that is going to be that for my little project right here. In the future, I'll be having other projects with this 20 gallon in relation to this, like I said, the plants. So anyways, if you haven't yet already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this video. and have a great day. Thank you.